Everybody, welcome back to another episode of FSI DFS Fantasy NASCAR Picks. I'm your host, Megro31. So we've got Atlanta this week. Hopefully you are able to endure the street race. It actually seemed like a better concept than I thought it would be. I thought it'd be a hot mess. The weather did make it a hot mess. So we'll give it, hopefully, maybe they'll bring it back next year. And it'd be cool if they like rotated cities, like maybe Denver and like the Mile High, maybe like San Francisco, maybe Manhattan. But hopefully it's a better weather weekend. It's cool to see somebody come in the 91 program, which Trackhouse wanted to put out there for certain courses to get certain drivers an opportunity to race in NASCAR from different circuits, and it worked, and he won. And the one thing I should say is next year, if they do it in Chicago and they do have the tire barriers, that if you crash into it 3 times, that you're out, no Grayson. But anyways, we're on to Atlanta, and we have a problem because we have a lot of really good drivers that are towards the back because nobody anticipated how much lack of grip there would be on this racetrack. All the cars were loose. It was hard to handle. They had to get off the gas. They had horrible times qualifying. So with that being said, I don't think they can really do many adjustments. However, it is a night race. So hopefully the track will be cooled down by then and they'll just naturally have some more grip. So looks like the Fords pretty much had it figured out, and the Chevys really kind of struggled with that. And they usually kind of set up together. You're going to see a lot more colors on here. I know I color the road races, but I color tracks like this too because manufacturers sometimes work together, and teams with tech alliances sometimes work together. So I tried to color code them. So if you're building GPP lineups and you want to stack them kind of like you stack a Major League Baseball, then we did see 3 Cully cars work together and pretty much dominate the end of the race until there was a late caution. And they all seemed to do well there. John Hernandez got around them on the restart, but I think there were some like running out of gas issues, but I think you're definitely going to see teams and cars work together, and we don't know how this is going to go. There's 220 laps, and Justin Haley was in the alternate lineup last night. Actually, in the alternate lineup, you had 3 cars with 9 place differential points, and you had 3 cars with double digit, almost 20 place differential points. So you're going to want to look for place differential, but you're also going to want to look guys like the middle of the pack that can go and finish well. And how's it going to play out? Like I said, Justin Haley was in the lineup. He led like 80 laps. I think he had the most, and that was 20 DK points he got from that. So we've seen Atlanta play out quite a few ways sometimes between the different series. We've seen everybody get a single file line and race around, and everybody be okay with that for the first, second stage. And then like halfway through the third stage, the price of poker goes up and business starts happening. Cars start shuffling, trying to make runs and stuff. Accidents start to happen, and things start to shuffle out. Or we've seen where there've been 2 lines and they're jacking back and forth, like you kind of see at Daytona and Talladega, where different people want to take the lead or take over. And it's just, nobody really ends up a lot of fast laps and a lot of points because of that. So again, it could go either way here. So I think we'll just break down the field, and I think there's gonna be a lot of duplicated lineups. I think everybody's just going to look at all these cars in the back and stack them all together and kind of have similar lineups. So let's go one by one through drivers like we usually do and see if we can pick out some golden nuggets, maybe make your lineup a little bit different. You find that one-off driver to throw in your lineup to make the difference, hopefully take down a GPP or do very well. So starting top, Eric Almirola has the pole. I know Logano had the pole last race, and he went and won the race too. So I'm saying you can like go out there and dominate and have a fast car and win this from the pole, yes. But I think it's gonna be a fade. Like Almirola did well here, but I think there's so many other better cars in the style race and everything, so I'm not super interested there. Blaney, I might take as the one that could maybe take over Almirola and be able to go out there and get the lead early and maybe win the race from the second position. Briscoe, again, he's a fade. I don't think he's got the car to be able to go and do that. And if he holds the top 5, if he doesn't lead laps and stuff, like he's going to get good finishing points on FanDuel, but in DK, I don't think he has a lot of upside. Logano, I think you got to look at GPP also, and I think he's priced up just because he did win the first race, but he's struggled, especially if he's not in clean air. His car is usually really bad, and I believe he wrecked at Talladega, so it just he's hit or miss. So he's the ultimate GPP play. Harrison Burton's starting way too far forward. He's gotten in wrecks, I believe, at Talladega and Atlanta last time, so I never play him. Kevin Harvick, I think this is one that's really intriguing if you want to take as a one-off this high up, because it's his last race here. They're going to have his 29 car where back in 2001, where he had his third race and he won, in honor of Dale Earnhardt. And he's had a lot of success at Old Atlanta, where it was a high tire wear track. Since they repaved it, he's been average here, but I think he's somebody that you can definitely look at. Just a lot of emotional factors here. If he's going to get a win here, this could potentially be the track. He didn't have a good day, got in an accident, only ran 190 laps last time out here, but I think he wants to do well, and I think his car looked decent in qualifying here, so he's definitely one to consider. Ty Gibbs looked really good. He did have some issues, got a little bit loose, tire rub into the wall a bit, but he hung on to it and finished well in Xfinity here. He did look the best out of the Toyotas, and so they'll probably link up, and he'll probably have a good day. I'm still going to have him as a fade because I really don't think that the Toyotas have much upside as the Fords here, but if you're mass multi-entering, I think you could potentially keep him in. Kyle Larson has wrecked, I think, in all three of the plate races or super speedway races this year. Just seems to have bad luck here. Pricing might not be a problem, and usually on these ones you can leave money on the table and be perfectly fine. So I don't think his salaries are going to matter as much, but I'm not interested in Kyle Larson. And Todd Gilliland is good at these races, but starting in the top 10, I just don't think he has got enough upside to play. So I will be fading those three. And I've got a major thunderstorm going behind me, so hopefully we have enough internet and electricity to get through the rest of this. Austin Cindric, he's won at Daytona and stuff. He's had a terrible sophomore season. I think you can look at him as GPP, as the third Penske car. If they all work together, if they all hit it, then again, I think he works better in a stack than on his own. Brad Keselowski, same thing. I would pair him with other Fords. He did finish second here, and we were looking for, like I said, the lineup for Xfinity that won it had three guys with 9 place differential points. If he finishes second, there's the 9 place differential points, so he's definitely in range. Tyler Reddick didn't look bad here. Again, I think I'd play him more, not as a one-off, but if you're stacking Toyotas here. Ryan Preece, the same thing. I would put him with other Stewart-Haas cars. Maybe look with Harvick. I don't think I'd play with Almirola. It's too dangerous playing him at the number one position, but maybe Haas and Roush Fenway cars. I don't know if they'll work together with the Penske cars, but we'll just have to see there. Denny Hamlin has always been good, so I think he is the first cash play potentially. I know he's 14th, but he definitely can get up in the top 5. He's always run well on super speedways, and there was a stretch where he won a bunch of them in a row, and I think he's one that you can always consider here. Chris Buescher, again, I think I just put him in with if you're stacking cars in GPP from Roush Fenway or Stewart-Haas or Fords. I wouldn't necessarily play him as a one-off. Martin Truex Jr., GPP, if you're doing a Toyota stack, I think that's where you play him here. Justin Haley, I think, is a cash play. He was outstanding in Xfinity. He did really well last night. He understands drafting and everything here. This Collie car is not as good as the Xfinity one, and the competition is much better here, but he understands the principles of it, and I think he definitely can be played in cash here. Byron also, I think, is a decent cash play here. He likes to get up and lead and be towards the front, which could become a boom or bust play, but I think he can get the 9 place differential points to at least get a top 10 here. AJ Allmendinger in the Collie car, not as good at the plate track, so I'll give him a GPP here. Michael McDowell, we know, has been really good at plate tracks. He ended up winning Daytona the one year. He just knows what to do to stay out of trouble and to run up front and be there to make the move at the end. Cole Custer is usually pretty good, but he's in a Rick Ware car, which Rick Ware cars usually did. I just don't know if they'll be able to stay on the lead lap. We saw some of the lesser cars. I know there's supposed to be more parity in here, but there isn't sometimes. I just see him potentially falling back and not being able to stay on the lead lap. And, but then again, maybe he's one of the ones that just kind of hangs around and out of nowhere gets a top 5. And we're like, wow, where'd Cole Custer come from? So, definitely it has the driving ability. The cars is the only question for me there. Kyle Busch won Talladega, so I definitely have to consider him in cash. There's some nice place differential here starting at 22nd. So definitely consider him. I think I'll definitely have him in the lineup. Maybe I'll do like I think my GPP start would be Kyle Busch, Kevin Harvick, and Joey Logano. Just like, I know it's a pretty expensive one there, but you have like all kind of former winners there. So like with like upside, but like terrible downside. So I think that might be a great GPP start for you, which would be much different than what everybody else is playing because they, some of them are higher up and could be kind of risky. So GPP core would be Busch, Harvick, and Logano. Going with that. Logano or Bellini, whichever one. I would not play both of them, but pick one of those two. Chase Elliott, I'm going to give him the prime here. He's got to be one of my favorite plays. I'll probably put him on the cover, just simply because it's his home track. He has always run well here, and because of all the penalties and suspensions and stuff this year and injury, he has to win this race pretty much to get into the playoffs. It's his best chance to win here, I believe. So I think it's going to be all out, everything you can to get, and there's nice place differential. Here, he has no problem getting up there. If the Chevys get it figured out and dialed in, I think he'll be perfectly fine. JG Yaley's a fade. I just don't see, if he was there in the 30s, I'd consider him for the place differential, but I just think he's just too much of a liability here. Eric Jones has run well here and has not run well here. So he gets a GPP. He'd be a top 10 or one of the first guys out. I've seen mechanical issues with this car, ruining my days. So I GPP for him. Suarez, I think you can put in cash here. Like, he's had up and down also. I believe he crashed out. Yes, he got in a wreck and then couldn't fix it on the clock. So he made 213 laps and finished 29th after starting 25th. So, but I have seen him get up to the top 10. So I think you can consider him in the cash, but there's just a little bit of hint of skepticism on my part. Ty Dillon, I don't like here. I know he's been okay on super speedways, but again, this car has just been bad at times. So fade for me. But if you want to put him in the GPP, he is in the sweet spot behind 25. So I think he's definitely in play, but I don't think I'm gonna be playing him. Corey LaJoie had the absolute amazing run last time, almost won the race, still finished top 5. So I definitely think he'll try to repeat that. Really likes this track, understands and wants to get up front. So definitely play him in cash here. Love that play. Stenhouse GPP. I mean, he won Daytona. He is good at plate tracks, but he also wrecks a lot. So I think he'll be highly owned, but I don't think I'll be playing him in cash. Ross Chastain, I think this is a great cash play, even though he's super aggressive. There's a lot of place differential here, and he's kind of mellowed out. I think he's kind of starting to figure things out. So, I mean, he does have the win, so he should be able to get into playoffs. He's playing with house money now, so it can afford him to take some more chances to go for the win versus try to get stage points and stuff like that. Gregson's usually decent, but he just hasn't been the same since he's come back from the concussion. I think he's a little bit timid here. He's been decent, but like these legacy motorsports cars, I've seen breakdowns, so I'm a little bit hesitant on playing him in cash. Austin Hill, loved him. This Beard car is a really good car. I believe it's like a subsidiary of Childress. So, and that's who kind of sponsors him for, or who does sponsor him for Xfinity. He understands like the side drafting here and stuff. If he had anybody to help him, he definitely could have won the race. He had the best car, and I think it'll probably translate well here. He definitely is one that wants to be up front. He's an aggressive driver, but takes calculated risks, understands it. He's not like a Stenhouse or Chastain that just like will run you over. He will wait for the right move and try to just deke you and juke you and get around you. So really love Austin Hill here. Also, Austin Dillon, I have him as a cash play, but he was a supposedly going to be a smash play for, I believe it was Talladega, starting towards the back, and then he got in an accident. So he's disappointed me a lot. I still have him as a cash play, but I'm just not positive I'm going to play him in cash. Christopher Bell, a prime play here. I think he's definitely this car definitely could fly up there, get up into the top 10. He'll figure it out. Just had a bad qualifying run, so he'll be fine. BJ McLeod, GPP here. Again, he might fall off the lead lap. I don't know what to expect from here. He usually rides around the back, avoids trouble. If there's attrition or early wreck, he'll definitely move up. I don't know about playing him in cash. Alex Bowman is my other prime play here. I think he and Bell are ones that are going to rise up. Bowman has a car that should be able to contend for the win here. They'll get it figured out. They'll get it righted. He'll definitely rise to the top of the cream. And Bubba Wallace, I think, will be chalk here. I considered him a prime play, but I do not know what happened. He started his qualifying lap. He's had a stop. He pulled off, and he said there was something wrong with the car. He wouldn't tell what it was. He said it was that secret. So I don't know if it was setup or mechanical or air, or somebody just forgot to do something. I don't know if it's a simple fix or there's something wrong with it, but they don't have time to like really work on it to adjust it. But even if they do adjust it, he's starting at the back anyway. So what has he got to lose? And anybody that makes an adjustment here that's unapproved, it doesn't really matter because it's so easy to get up to the front from the back here. It's not like a road course or a course where there's like hard to pass. I mean, you can Austin Hill and a bunch of people had to start at the back because of different adjustments, and they just blew through the field in like 5 to 10 laps and we're up to like, top 20, top 10 before you knew it. So that's what I got for you. So again, stick to the back, try to find the guy up front, whether it's like Hamlin, I'm going with Elliott, like somebody that's going to set you apart. So I would build your 5-person cash lineup, or like your cash lineup, you're going to probably live like with like 25 or 20 on back. That's usually what the general rule is. So, look at those plays, figure out which ones you like the best, and that's your cash lineup there. I don't think you need to like dominator points or you're looking for place differential. But for GPP, build like 4 cash guys and then take somebody that's up higher, take some shots, or maybe take a manufacturer stack like correlating with some of the cash plays to finish off. And if all those cars do well, that's what's going to pull you up to the top. So good luck in your race lineups here. Hopefully it goes well. Hopefully the weather is good and it's a nice exciting Sunday night race that you can just settle down. It's not a baseball game or anything because it's the all-star break. So put the kids to bed, get your favorite beverage, get some snacks, sit back, and hopefully let's watch a nice night of NASCAR. So at Hotlanta. So again, I'm MegaRuler31. If you have any questions, put them in the chat below. Hit me up at MegaRuler31 on Twitter. If you want more information on FSI DFS, to get into our Discord, to get our full package, $5 a week, and the week will carry you through to next week too. So it's not like you're just going to get this race. It's actually a physical week, so she'll get you through the contest next week, where I believe they're out in New Hampshire. So especially if you sign up at like 5 o'clock at night, it's probably an afternoon race, so you're going to get probably this race. I don't know if trucks are racing, but it should give you like 3 to 4 races for the $5. So you can go into the description of the video, get on the FSI DFS website and see how to sign up there. And if these videos help you, please continue to help us back. You're doing a great job. Please like the video, thanking us by subscribing to the channel and sharing with your friends. So appreciate everybody watching here. Hope everybody has a great weekend. So good luck in your contests, and I will see you next week.